When am I ever going to use this in real life? How many times have you said that when you were in high school or even college? Well, are you going to get a loan ever in life? Know what payments are, maybe have to get a business loan. Loans are part of real life. We don't live in a cashless society. Inflation is so high, we have to get loans. That's an economic discussion for another class, but we're going to do some loan scenarios. So this is part 2 of Jesse's Jewelry what if analysis. I think you'll find this pretty fun. Let me first make this zoom a little bigger because it'll look easier on your screen. 150% looks good. Okay. So we're going to do some like what if scenarios on this loan. So here's a calculation of a $415,000 loan, 3-year term, 5% interest rate. That's your monthly payment. If you can click here, you can see that there's the formula. It takes the interest rate, divide by 12 times. So we can click on it, it tells you what those all are. So it takes the interest rate divided by 12. Then it takes into account the number of years and then the loan amount. The number of years divided by 12. So you could either have months or years times 12, sorry, not divided by. So there's the formula. That's how we got it. And they want us to do a couple different loan scenarios. Like one of them, let's reduce the loan. And we're trying to get the payment around $10,000. So in the instructions says $10,000.07. So we're trying to get this from 12,000 down to 10,000. How do we do it? So if you've ever bought a car, the sales 101 on buying a car is they never negotiate the price, they negotiate payment because they can manipulate all the other things behind the scenes. If you want to negotiate for a car, you want to negotiate the price, interest rate, and payment. Don't let them focus on that payment because they can jack that price up, spread the term out over 100 years, and it's a really small payment. So don't get sucked into the payment scam of only focusing on payment. That's sales 101 is to get you to focus on the payment, not on the whole other, don't look over here, just look at this. So here's some scenarios of how we're going to reduce the payment with some scenarios. So one of them is reduce loan amount. So first thing you're going to do is copy these titles down here, and we're going to do both of them because we're going to do 2 scenarios. Okay, so we have number of amount of loan, years, interest rate, payments per month. Okay, and we'll fill these in once we do some what if scenarios. Okay, so we have this scenario. So what you do is let's click on home, and we want to go to formulas. Sorry, data, and then we hit what if scenarios right here next to my face. Okay, what if scenario, and we want goal seek. Okay, so what is it we want to seek? So it highlights this cell here. I don't want that cell. I want the payment right here. Actually, I need to do escape, start. I need to highlight the payment and hit what if, goal seek. So that's what we want to change. We want a scenario like what if we want to do. So we want that cell to be equal to 10,007 cents. And what do we want to change? For this one, we want loan amount. So let's hit loan amount. So it's going to take the loan amount. Let's figure out what that loan amount has to be to get me a $10,000 payment. And it just asks you to verify that's what we want to do, and it will change it. So it says, okay, well, our loan amount's got to be $333,000. So down here, comma 659, we'd have to lower that loan amount down to that. Our period stays the same, our interest rate stays the same, but our payment is 10,007 cents. Okay, there's our scenario. So now let's go back to what if scenario. We want to increase the number of years. So this was 450,000. Okay, so we're just going to go back to our original scenario, $450,000, a 3-year loan, 5% interest rate would give us a $13,000 loan. Well, we want our payment to be $10,000 again. So we're going to hit what if, goal seek, and we want that that 13,000 to be 10,007 cents. But this time we want to change the number of years. So we're going to change this one, number of years. And we hit okay, verify it. And then our years would have to go up. We'd have to increase and borrow for another year and a little over a year. So that's how they manipulate. You're like, oh, I want my payment. They're like, okay, sweet. We'll just make your loan longer. We'll make your loan longer. You'll be in debt longer. And we'll do some other scenarios later about how much more you actually pay for that in time. Those interest debts will eat you up. Okay, so you're going to change loan amount here. 450,000 stays the same. Period of years now is going to be 4.16. Interest rate stays the same. And the payment is at 10,007. Type that in right. 3.07. Boom. Okay. And then I don't have percent on here or years. So if I want, I can go back and make that look a little prettier. I want that to be percent. And I want this to be dollar amount. Cool. All right. There's your what if scenarios. That's part 2. And now we need to go over to payment table. Okay. So now we're going to do some more payments. And we're going to do some scenarios. There are a lot of formulas here. We need to probably get that view a little bigger, because we're going to have to do a lot of scenarios here. And they want us to do interest rates from 4 to 6%. So 4 by halves. 4.5, 5, 5.5, and 6. Okay. Actually, I need that lower, because I don't want to start right there. So I copied that. I pasted it. I just moved it down one cell. That was a copy paste. I actually cut paste. I cut it where it was and I pasted it. Saved me from having to rewrite those things. So little error. So see how when I did that, it made this a dollar amount instead of percent. So I can fix that. I go back to home. 2 ways I can do it. I can hit this format button I've showed you on previous, so that paintbrush right here, and I want that same paintbrush there, but it went to 400% instead of 4%, so I just changed it to 4%. Okay, and I could have just clicked percent button over here as well. All right, now with our number of months, they want us to be from 24 to 60, and loan payments are in 12-month increments. So we go from 24, 36, 48, and then 16. So we have 2, 3, 4, and 5 years. All right. And then we're going to calculate the monthly payments all right here for these different scenarios. So they gave us the top scenario, loan amount, $415,000. So we know our loan amount is $415,000. Now let's see what our payment is for these other items. And so we're gonna have to manipulate the cells and calculate the right thing. One thing that's staying the same is the loan amount. All right. So we're going to hit equal PMT payment. Okay, I'm going to hit that formula. And then it kind of tells you what needs to go in here with the blue writing. So we're going to go rate. Now the rate, we have to go 5, but we're going to divide that by 12 because we're on a 12-month calendar for payments. Okay, you're going to hit comma. Now it wants to know how many payments we're doing. This one has 36. So this one, if it's 3, we'd have to multiply 3 times 12. But this one, we can highlight that it's 36. But actually, no, we want to do here 24. So we're going to hit 24. And then we hit comma. And then the future value. So what's the loan amount? We can do $450,000, right? Or 415, or I can just click right there. Comma. Future value. What do we want the loan amount to be at the end of those 24 months? We want it to be equal to 0. And then type, we don't really need to, that's an optional one. It's in the square bracket, so we don't have to do that. So I can hit return. Something's wrong there. So I have, it's because it's not 5%. So I need to hit 4% divided by 12. There we go. Okay. So I double check my formula. I want B8, that's 4% divided by 12. C7, which is the number of months. I need the loan amount of being $415,000, and I want at the end of my loan to owe nothing at 0. That's my correct formula. That's my payment there. Now, what I need to complete filling this out. So I'm going to show you a couple ways to do it. One of the, maybe the slower ways, we just repeat that over and over again. Equal payment. Okay. And then now what's my rate? I'm going to click this rate, divide by 12, comma. It wants to know the number of payments per. I click 36, comma. Future value, our present value is $450,000, comma, and I want it to be worth 0 at the end, and I hit return. So there we go. Payment drops. Look at that big drop with a half. That should have gone down lower. Oh, it's because I clicked 36, 415. 38, 424. Oh, it's because I did 36 months instead of 24. Okay, so see this B3, the payment went lower and that didn't make sense because it should have been higher because of higher interest rates, but I had accidentally clicked 36 months here. So I hit B3 instead of the C7, because that's really what we're doing here is the 24. Okay, that makes some more sense. Payment goes up with a little interest rate hike. Check those formulas. This is where it gets monotonous and you have to really make sure you're clear. And you have to know some common sense. Rate goes up, my payment should go up. My payment shouldn't have gone down. So what was wrong? And I had to go back and divulge and see what that is. Okay, so here's, I'm going to show you some tricks now. I'm going to maybe zoom a little bit higher, a little deeper so we can see a little bigger. Okay, all right. So I'm going to copy this formula right here. I'm going to paste it here. Now, what's going to paste? It's not going to be 100% accurate because some of the fields will be different. And if you notice, it has a 0 there. So I'm going to double click. I think this might save me time. I don't know for sure. So I double click. And what I can see is my B10. That's good. I have the 5% divided by 12. My C8 is pulling from here, not the 24 months. That's my problem. So if I just change C8 to C7, and then my B3 went down to a 36 because that's 36 months, but I don't want B3, I want B2. So I just type B2 here, B2, and then that worked. So I don't know if that was faster for you or if it's more fast or quicker to just type it in quicker for you. So you're going to have to fill out the rest of this chart on your own, but I'm going to do that one more time because I like that. So I copied this one, copy, and I paste it here, but I know my formula is wrong. So I just have to go in and see where it's wrong. So B11, copy my interest rate correctly. But again, my C8 didn't take it should be C7 here. And then my B3 should be B2. So I only had to change 2 things and it went pretty quick. So I'm going to do one more, copy and paste here, double look, and I just double check all these again. Again, this is going to be the same error on each of them. And then B3 should be B2. Okay. All right. And I can just do that over here again. I'm going to copy here, but now I got an error again. So I just have to figure out where it is. Oh, it's pulling this. Oops. It's pulling, there's nothing here, no loan amount there, but it is, and it's not pulling the rate of trade. So I just got to change those. Again, if you want to type them in instead of changing them, whatever's easiest for you. My C8 should be B8 because that's my interest rate. My D7 is correct because it's 36, but my C2 should be B2 because that is the loan amount. Boom, there we go. So check out how much lowest rate, it lowers my payment with that longer term. So continue to fill this chart out and you're going to get a bunch of payments for 36, 48, 60 months. And once you've done that, then you're done and you're going to move on to part 3.